Well, welcome back, everyone. A live look out of our Austonian camera this morning at the UT Tower, where 49 years ago today, peace and quiet turned to horror and tragedy. Charles Whitman went up to the top, fired on and killed 14 people and wounded 32 others before he was shot and killed by Austin police. The 96-minute shooting spree was one of the first mass shootings in U.S. history. And in preparation for the 50th anniversary next year, one Austin filmmaker is telling the story like it's never been told before. Director Keith Maitland joins us this morning to talk about Tower, and Josh Jacobs, the director of the film at the Bullock Museum, also working on a project that we're going to get to in just a minute. Good morning to both of you.
Morning. Morning.
So give me a little background on how long you have been working on this film. I know it's close to completion, but this has to have taken you a long time.
Well, it's been an ongoing project, really for the last 3 or 4 years, full time. But the idea to make this film for the 50th anniversary was born on the 40th anniversary in 2006. So I spent 5 or 6 years researching, digging around and talking to people, and the last 3 or 4 years in a committed effort to find people who were there that day and tell the story completely through their own words.
And that's what makes this different. In past situations, we've seen it through the shooter's eyes, but you want to allow people to have a much different experience.
Well, I feel like the story has always been told from the perspective of the shooter. Why did he do it? What motivated him? And we wanted to look at the story from the ground up. How did the people who were on campus that day, who were walking down Guadalupe Street, who were here in Austin, react to the unfathomable? They didn't know who was up in that tower, and so we wanted to get their perspective. And I think that's a story that hasn't been told, and through the process of that, we've connected with literally dozens of people who were on the ground that day. Some who were shot, some who rushed into the tower, others who watched from home on their TVs or listening to their radios, and we want to gather more of those stories. There's an opportunity here to really capture the history of that day from as many perspectives as possible. And that's what we're doing with the film and with our companion project.
Let's talk about that companion project and how you two have been working hand in hand.
Yeah, so for the Bullock Museum, we have what's called the Story Project, the Texas Story Project. And we are collecting people's just stories about, their life as being Texans, their life in Texas, and especially, a call out to folks who were part of this experience. And we have a place on the website where they can go to thestoryoftexas.com, and they can, write it, they can do a video, they can get that information out of, like, this is what my experience was. And we're hoping to share that with Keith and help Keith to find folks that were part of this experience.
Do you find that around the time of the anniversary, when we do interviews like this, you find more people that come forward? Is this a key time in your storytelling ability?
Absolutely. And what we realized as we were driving closer and closer to releasing the film is that when the film comes out, I think that people will kind of come out of the woodwork and say, hey, I was there too, and I saw this unique thing happen, or this is how I felt on that day. And so we created this companion piece beyond the tower in partnership with the Bullock Texas State History Museum and the Texas Exes on campus to be able to capture those stories and keep the storytelling going beyond just the boundaries of the film.
I love that. I was thinking, walking over here to sit down and talk to you guys, for students, they would be in their 70s about now.
That's right. The youngest person who was shot that day was 17 years old, and so he is now just about 70 years old. And we've lost a lot of the people who were there that day. A lot of the faculty and police officers are no longer with us, and that's why it's really important that we capture these stories now.
Well, we are looking forward to the release of this film and seeing what happens and how far this companion project goes with the stories that keep rolling in. Thank you too for being here this morning and keeping the story alive.
Really glad to be here, and I just want to let people know that there's a trailer available for the film, and they can share their stories on our website, which is towerdocumentary.com.
Perfect. We'll link to that on our website when we put that up a little bit later this morning along with this interview. Thank you again for being here.